I'm not doing the finger thing today. I'm just going to start.
Well, because you're too late. That's why. We did it. We did it first. It's too late. We did it.
Yeah. I'm just not going to do it today. It's going to
You
be
get
fun.
you get to be the Walmart greeter today.
I'm not old enough to be the Walmart greeter.
We're creeping ever closer every day.
We are. No disrespect to Walmart greeters.
Oh,
No,
Just a joke.
We're back.
Yay.
So, scary but true.
Hey.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about balancing things, how to get things done, because we really need your help with this, I think, more than anything. Right now, I would love somebody to come in and organize my life.
Yes.
Which, I don't know that that's an option, but if there's anybody out there that wants to do that for a living, there's 3 of us here. We'll happily be your guinea pigs. So, yeah. But yeah.
How about we introduce ourselves again, maybe a chance?
Yeah. Okay, let's introduce yourself. I'm Angela, and I am a long arm quilter and a shop owner in Raleigh, North Carolina. Who wants to go
I'm
next?
Tracy, and I have an APQS showroom and rental studio in Whitby, Ontario, Canada. So just outside of Toronto.
And I'm Kathy Thayer, and owner of Fabric Bash in Omaha, Nebraska. Quilt store, long arm rental, APQS store, Janome Juki, machine repair, and I'll stop there. So fabulous. All right. So managing time is a big deal to me. So it's a struggle. I think
I actually had someone leave a voicemail for me last week that said, "Oh, well, I guess you're not working." I'm thinking, I'm just not at the showroom. Yeah, I'm not working. That's what I'm doing. I'm at home doing nothing, eating bonbons, watching soap operas. That's my life.
Yeah. If that were the way, God, as we both say goodbye, both Tracy and I, oh, sure. The dream.
Sometimes immersing myself in Netflix or something. A friend of mine used to call it avoidance therapy. You know, I get so overwhelmed by all the things I have to do that I become almost frozen and I can't do anything. And then because it's too much. It's, you know, and I've had people say, "Oh, well, just write a list and just follow the list." That works until the first time my phone rings. Or somebody walks in the door, or a customer needs my help with their machine.
Or my list is 10 pages long.
Yeah. Well, my list is always 10 pages long, but I think for me personally, I live reactively. I start out every day with okay, today I'm going to get to work and I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. In my head, it's not written down. That's probably part of the problem. And as everybody knows, because I keep telling everybody, I have been diagnosed with ADD. So I do have that I struggle with on a daily basis. But I start out with a good plan, and every day I get distracted by something, or so, well, before I do that, I got to do this, or, well, that's not going to work. So, okay, well, maybe I'll do this instead. But before I can do that, oh, that's not going to work, because to do that, I got to do that and that and that first. And it just spirals. And then it's 3:00 in the afternoon. I've done a lot, but I didn't do any of what I was going to do. Do you know what I mean? Does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Of course.
Yeah. It's frustrating though.
It is. It is. So I probably have 300 things on a to-do list that have been on my to-do list for over a year.
Right.
Not because they're things I need to get done, but they just never make it to the top of the list. And I live in a planner. I am someone that has to have stuff written down. So I have a weekly planner I use, and I write everything down that I have to do. And I can typically get anything that's written down on my stuff for that day done. But yeah, I'm not like, if that was weird. But if if it's just like I need to shoot a specific video, that may not get done, right? Because I know I can put it off until another day. If it's, the taxes have to be paid, then that's going to get done, right? So I don't know. It's paralyzing at times to look at my list.
I used to be that way. Yeah. I got a great cure along the road to help me, and that would be called my twin daughters. So I had this epiphany. I'm not perfect, nor am I even coming close to always doing this. There's days that I get very frustrated, and most days I get frustrated. But when I had 6 kids at the time that I got pregnant with my twins, and I'm already 40. And then my husband I'm old. The doctor said I cannot move we had orders to move to Albuquerque, which is high altitude, so I couldn't move. Then at that point I had a daughter in she would be a junior in high school. Do we move her during the middle of junior year and swim season, or do we not? So we chose not to, and Doug went down to Albuquerque. And somewhere along the road, husband would come back every 3rd weekend, and he'd look around the house and he'd see everything, right? And somewhere I had this little thing in my brain that happened. I'm like, listen, I am trying my best. Most days if the kids have shoes and if they're fed and some of the laundry gets done, we are good. And since then, I try to go back through my day to see what I did instead of trying to plan my day. At the end of the day, I walk back to see what I did, because sometimes I can be a little bit better. Oh, okay. I did accomplish 2 things. You know what I mean? And that's what helped me at that point. So I had this chaotic world of 8 children, 2 of them being 6 weeks old, and I'm by myself, feeling like I'm doing nothing. Because you know what that's like when you're a mom and you pick up your toys 50,000 times and the kitchen sink is dirty, and you know what I mean? So I've walked.
At that point, I feel like I'm a hamster on a wheel, and I'm on it and I can't get off it, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just spinning.
Right. That's when I started looking back at what I did to help me feel like I did something, instead of, oh my gosh, the living room's still dirty. Well, I picked it up 5 times. That wasn't a compliment. I picked it up 5 times. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing. Okay. You know what? They're all happy. They've been read a book, and everything else looks like, you know what, hit the fan around my house. But my kids are all happy and fed. And I've talked to my husband tonight. I'm okay. So I've actually tried to take in that philosophy of owning a store, driving home. What did I accomplish today? Instead of doing it the other way and feeling this pressure like I have to reach certain things. Because you're right. Phone calls happen, machines break, all of that stuff. I'm not perfect at it either, by the way. So I still get frustrated. No, I just try to reflect instead of react, I guess.
Well, and there's always going to be something that's going to call your attention and be more important, no matter, if it's your family or if it's your job, mm-hmm. Something is going to come out that's more important than what was on your schedule at that moment, right? Mm-hmm. I've had a dad that's been in the hospital this month, trying to finish a book, right? So right. Just little things that I've been trying to address, right? So all of that stuff has to take priority, unfortunately, over what I want to get done, what has to get done. So yeah, and so you guys know that I postponed a surgery because I didn't have time to do it. So there's that side of it too. Yeah, because I'm not walking real well right now. So yeah, I am having the surgery. It just postponed it. It was supposed to be last Friday. It's going to be in a couple months, but yeah. So, and there were good reasons to do it other than me just not having time, which was part of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay too, though. And it's okay to watch movies, and it's okay to say, I'm tapping out. It's okay.
It's okay to tap out, as long as you don't then beat yourself up over it for tapping out again, because it becomes a coping mechanism. When my kids were little, they were the only thing I cared about. The house was always clean, but it was more important to me that we went to the park for the afternoon than I washed the kitchen floor again.
Right.
So I was very clear back then when I was lucky. I got to stay at home with my kids the entire time. Mm-hmm. They were young, and I didn't choose to go back to work until Lucy was in school. And then I only worked when she was in school until she got to, grade 1, 2, and 3. And they were all in school all day. That was different. But I think trying to balance a work day and get all the work things done is way more frustrating, because back then it was just me and it was just the kids. They were all I cared about, and it didn't matter. But now there's just, there's so many things. It's getting customer quilts done and trying to film videos for YouTube and trying to make up projects and trying to come up with ideas for classes and trying to help people with the machines. And I service the machines, so I'm servicing machines, and it's just this thing all day long. And some days and I'll admit it right here on YouTube, there are days when I come in here and I get so overwhelmed that I find myself sitting at my desk watching YouTube videos because I can't. You know what I mean? It's just like there's just too much in here, so I'll just lose myself in a
guilty
in a video.
Guilty.
I think we all do it. I think it's only natural. I think everyone does it because there are times that you can't focus on what you're doing. But here's the thing, for your mental health, I think, at least for me, I need to do it. If I don't give myself time to be down, right, and not be completely focused on stuff, I'm not doing my best work when I am focused on it. So having a day that I just need to, watch something on Netflix and not work doesn't happen very often. And it typically for me does not happen during the work week. But I'm not going to say that there hasn't been a Saturday or Sunday that we haven't watched 3 seasons of Top Gear either in our house. So,
fabulous.
It is what it is.
Right.
I mean, my job is not anywhere near as high stress as my husband's is, right? So getting him to the point that he can relax is important too. And it's one of the reasons he's not helping me do machine work anymore, is because he needs downtime, and it's not, it has to happen on the weekends. And that's when he was helping me work on machines. It just can't happen anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's certain things, as it being a store owner, that I do not delegate to my staff, and I make sure I do it. And also too, if it has to get done, it has to get done. And I'm the one that's going to have to get it done. So, and that's okay.
Yeah. I said something to someone at one point that I clean the toilets, and they were like, I was like, really? It's not that my staff can't do it. They can do it. It's like they do everything else for me. And I'm kind of raised in the school of management. If you never ask someone to do something you're not willing to do, well, my least favorite job in the world is cleaning toilets. So I do it.
Right.
Right. Because I'm not going to ask my staff to do something that I don't want to do.
Right.
Not that they don't clean it. If I haven't been there for a couple of weeks, trust me, they'll clean them. But every time I go into the showroom, I clean the toilets, not because they're not doing their job, just because I don't want to ask them to do anything I'm not going to do.
Right.
And I love my staff. So, I'm like, they laugh at me because I bought them a new Roomba, and they're like, it empties itself. I'm like, yeah, it does.
We call ours Bunny Buster.
Yeah. Yeah, ours doesn't have a name yet. It's been in service for longer than Bunny has, and we're still calling it Spot, which was the old Roomba's name. Because, it is what it is. I have one I took Spot home and named it Fiber, and it's now in my studio downstairs. So, but y'all are going to get to see, because I'm going to set that up as a filming studio soon. I can't wait. And that's where I will be doing my recording from as soon as I can get that set up.
That's
happening
awesome.
This summer, hopefully before my surgery.
Yay. Yeah. I laugh. I come in the morning, I'm hunting rabbit, looking for the bunny to see if it made it all the way through.
Oh, it doesn't tell you if it's stuck?
It does. I just choose not to open up the app because I let certain things go. I try.
See, if I could talk to mine. So I just go, AI name, where's Spot? Where's Roomba Spot? And it'll tell me.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I don't have an app for my Costco shop vac.
But you know what? Shop vacs are
great.
great.
I have another app for it to work.
I have a shop vac in my showroom too. I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome, and it was cheap. It was like, I don't know, $70 or something. Costco had a bunch, and I bought 2. I bought one for home and one for here. And holy crap, that thing, I wish they would have, it doesn't matter. I wish they would have made the cords longer.
Yeah.
Because I have to have a big, long extension cord on it because it doesn't, like the cord's only, I don't know.
Yeah, they're like maybe 6 feet. They're not very long at all.
No, they're not very long at all, but it works great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite time you like to get into your shop or your area, or you into work or do something? Like for me, I like coming in. My kids have been swimmers, so I'm used to getting up early in the morning.
She gets up really early.
Yeah, I do. I get up at 5 or 5:30, and I'm on the road by 5:30 or 6. And I love coming into the store before it opens. It's just something like it's just magical for me. And I usually try to come in with the list, like everybody else. And then it's something totally different. Like I think every day is something totally different than what was in my brain. I'm going to go straight to the long arm room. I'm going to go straight to the long arm room. Oh, wait, I need to do this.
Yeah, weirdly, for someone who owns a showroom, I'm rarely at my showroom anymore. But I like coming downstairs and being in the office. If I can get here before my husband does, then it's my office for the day. Because we share an office. But, that's going to change soon too. But yeah, I can get a bunch done before 10 a.m. if I start when I first get up and just start going. It's just getting there and getting down there and getting it done. Right.
Right.
I don't know, but that's when, I get my best work when nobody else is up yet. Before the people get up on the West Coast, I can get a lot of stuff done.
Right. Well, yeah, you guys are in a different time zone than me, though.
Yeah.
It's only an hour.
Right.
Yeah. It's only an hour. It's not like I'm getting up at 6 o'clock to be awake when you are. So that's just not happening. That's just
sorry. I'm weird.
I do that when I'm visiting you, but not on an everyday basis.
Okay. Note to self. Don't do that in the future when Angela's visiting.
It's okay. It doesn't bother me. She tells me when I have to be ready to go, and I'm usually there within a couple minutes of when I'm supposed to be walking out the door.
Right.
But I can also tell you, she's dropping her kids off at school, and she's got a schedule that she's got to keep. So,
they're driving now.
I know.
Yay! Just hands. I'm ready to age out of some programs. I feel bad for my baby girls. I feel so bad. So 8 kids, babies. They're 16 years old right now.
Yeah.
Poor things are just struggling with like some reality sometimes, because when they were graduating 8th grade, they had an 8th grade graduation, which kind of cracks me up because that's expected. But anyway, at least in our world, 8th grade is graduating. I mean, there's no graduation, it's expected, but they were in private school, moving on to high school. And then my Gracie looked at me and said, "Mom, our teacher says most of us, our parents, will be sad." I said, "So not at 55. No, I'm not." I'm sorry. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Your dad and I love you guys very much and so happy that you're a part of our world. But yeah, we're looking at aging out of the program. Like, it'd be great.
We're waiting for everyone to leave the house. Everyone to leave the house.
But it's that balancing act of telling her, yes, I love her for what we're doing, but balancing still that family still, I'm parenting. Yeah. I am parenting when my children are parenting. My older children are now living with, one of my older children is living with us with their children. So it is rather a balancing act in our house on how to keep up boundaries and not talk about work at home and things like that.
Well, that's hard because 3 of you work at your business too.
Yeah.
So we could easily just come over and take over the dinner hour too. Because, I know that there are times that I go into dinner still wanting to talk about things that have happened, and nobody here cares, right?
I don't talk about my business at home with anybody because nobody at home cares.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm upset, they want me to calm down, but they don't. That is so weird.
Tracy is the consistent one, and Angela's showroom and Kathy's room are having light shows go on.
What is happening? Are your lights going off, or is your computer wanting to go to sleep?
My computer is timing off, so if I don't constantly sit here and play with my mouse, my computer's going off. And this is new. It's never done this before.
Okay, that is a really strange thing. We went to go live today, and our phones wouldn't stay on StreamYard either. Trying to go live, it kept going to sleep. I wonder if there's some sort of like update somewhere.
I mean, I should be able to go into my display settings and have it stop doing this, but I've actually tried to sneak in there during the call while we've been talking, and nothing I'm doing is making this stop. So
see, look at another new task while we're even doing this.
Yeah.
Happen. That's how it starts. It starts. That's how it starts.
See, and this is how it, all of a sudden you'll see me staring off over here, and I'm like, what I'm doing is actually working on my computer, not paying attention anymore.
So on that time management, when do you guys find time to do things for yourselves? Or like quilting for yourselves? Like if this is, for instance, we're all longarmers, when do you get to quilt for yourself?
I don't. I loaded stuff onto my Lucy last week for a project that I want to put up on out there for people. I spent a whole bunch of money ordering all kinds of stuff. It all came. I was actually really excited. I opened the box. I sent pictures of it all to my friend Jesse. Said, look what I'm doing. And he's like, ew, why? Like, oh, no. He loved the fabrics. Just anyways.
Ew, why?
So I thought, okay, so yeah, he wasn't thrilled. Bless his heart. He's like, there's not going to be a lot of demographic that's going to like that. And I was like, oh, I thought it was a good idea. Oh, well, all right. So then I decided to do something else, which was original idea from a long time ago. And I loaded that stuff on the Lucy last Tuesday. I took it off about 2 hours ago. Haven't done a darn thing to it. It's been sitting there for a full week waiting for me. And tomorrow I have a guild coming in for the day to quilt Quilts of Valor. So it had to come off the frame.
Tracy, you do realize you're my people, right? You are my people.
But I'm telling you, mentally, every time I walk past that flipping machine and I see all that stuff sitting there, it's like a little,
it's not good mentally.
It's like a little needle. Like,
but why do we let ourselves
be working on that? You should be working on that. And I can't because I'm trying to do too many other things. It's like, okay, well, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and okay, tomorrow. I got 3 more days. I've got 3 more days I can do it. Nobody needs that machine. I'll do it tomorrow. Never gets done. Tomorrow
never comes. And I completely relate to what you're saying, because I needle myself too, when really what's the harm of it not getting done? Other than the fact I didn't get it done, it's not hurting anybody by not getting done. It's not causing my business not to keep going, right? But I will beat myself up over something that isn't really essential to what I'm doing.
It's not essential, but it is essential. It's something that is important, and I need and want to get these things up there.
I agree with that.
In the moment, everything else takes precedence over it.
And that's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
It's on my to-do list. It's important, right? But I tend to beat myself up over things. I mean, if it is essential, I get it done, right? So if it is just something that I would like to get done, or I have kind of a plan for, but I don't know what it is, those things tend to slide, right? And yet those are the things I beat myself up over.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't convince myself not to do that. I mean, I can sit back and look at it later and going, you're beating yourself up over something you shouldn't be. But as the next time it comes around, I'm going to do the same thing again, you know?
Well, and I find too, when I'm trying to go to sleep at night, it's
the list in your head just cycles.
Hamster on a wheel. Hamster on a wheel. It's like, oh, you had all kinds of time today. You could have got that done. You could have got that done. You should have got that done. Well, maybe tomorrow. And I'm having,
like I said, you're my people. I mean,
psycho argument with myself.
Right.
And then
you're normal.
A little voice will say, nobody cares.
Who cares?
Nobody cares. Just go to sleep.
And I am so trying to listen to that little go to
Right.
sleep voice
Yeah.
more and less the one that wants to keep me wired all the time.
Right.
Because really that's what it is me keeping myself on my hamster wheel, right? And that full, ADHD thing going on where I need to always be stimulated, right? So, and I'm aware of that, but I still do it to myself.
I also think, and I'm so happy I'm in my 50s because I'm starting to be more so. I mean, I don't want to go back. I mean, I want my body to be younger, maybe, where I don't hurt as much. You know what I mean? But I love my comfort level with myself on certain things. Because I need to forgive myself sometimes. I will get on the hamster wheel, and sometimes you need to say, you know what? It's okay that it's okay it didn't get done, or it's can wait till tomorrow, or there's kids that need to be picked up and held, and there's way more important things. Our kids are important things, and I got to look at my health sometimes a little bit better and forgive myself on some of those things and say, you know what? You tried your best, sweetheart. Good night. And I'm in the light show again. And so I just feel like my comfort level in my 50s, I am so much better at. And I also just had a couple of things that really stick in my brain. Out of all of the things that I don't remember, I had one of these ladies that told me one time, you should be happy, because I said something about losing weight or something, because that's another thing that I always kind of struggle with, right? Losing weight and how do I look to other people? And, like I had somebody walk up to me. We were at a show and I had somebody walk up to me and say, wow, you don't look as heavy as you do on TV. And I'm like, I think that's like
rude.
Please don't ever say that to any of us. Please.
I turned it around I looked at Jake. I'm like, I think that was a compliment.
It's nice to meet you. You don't look as fat as I thought you were. Thanks, I think. What the heck?
So I had this lady tell me when I was younger, after just 3 kids, and said something, just be okay with your maternal figure because you birthed those babies. It's never going to look the same. And I kind of have taken that into some other things of like, you know what? I'm trying my best. I try to keep my house clean. Because that one time I told you my husband came back and he looked around the house and he was just going, and I was like getting so frustrated. I looked at him and I said, you don't have to come back next week. I'm okay. I am trying my hardest. It's a whole hot mess over there. Got it. But everybody's alive. Everybody's alive at the moment they're breathing. I count it good.
I did the count to 8 multiple times. Everybody's here. Everybody's here.
The thing with housework and dust, it's
just
very
going to come
loyal.
back.
It will wait for you forever.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I need to learn how to get some of that on that priority of like, okay, I've tried. I mean, I have a project due this week. It's not happening. I'm falling off of the wagon, but I'm trying, but it's okay. I got to let myself know that 50,000 other things came first. And most of all my customers through the door, as long as I can fake it well. Everybody's like, oh, you must be so organized. You have 8 kids. You must be so organized. I'm like, yeah, no. Don't go look in my office because it's no, you don't want, it's not pretty. But you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as everybody else, I said, I fake it well. That's all I do. I fake it well. As long as everybody else thinks it's good, that's all that matters. I don't care.
I can be I can be super organized about some things, like scary organized about some things. And then other things, it's like, yeah, not on my to-do list.
My intake form.
I mean, I'd like to think that I chill about stuff. I don't. There are just some things that just don't have that, aren't that important to me.
We all have those.
Then there's times that I'm like just scary organized about some things. So yeah.
I am not organized about anything. Today, Sally's quilting. I'm trying to clean up for my guild that's coming tomorrow. So I'm back there. Oh, I got to move the machine because it's too close to the back. The batting's in the way. People are going to be using the machine from the back. I start back there, turn on my manual Roomba because I don't have one of those fancy things. So I'm back there vacuuming. I have no idea why. I put the vacuum down. I left it running. I came to the front for something. I could hear talking. Well, my computer's on. Sally's quilting. The computer's on. Oh, okay. So I turned that off. I don't know. It was on something. There was a video playing or whatever. So I turned that off. I look down. I see the Enbridge bill that I paid yesterday at home. Oh, right. I took a screenshot. I took a photo on my phone of the code that tells the confirmation code that I paid the bill. Vacuum's still running. Okay. I came to the front for something. Now I've got the bill and I'm writing down the confirmation code in black marker. So I did that. Then I'm looking for the stapler. And while I was looking for the stapler, I found something else. So now I'm picking up a bunch of stuff off. Now I'm tidying my desk. Sally says to me, she comes around, she peeks around the corner. She goes, oh, you're up here. I said, yeah. She goes, I thought you were vacuuming. Then I realized that I can still hear the vacuum that's just laying back there doing nothing all by itself. I've been up here for 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm so normal. Thank you. Thank you for telling the story. I'm so normal.
Like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I better go shut that off. So I went back there and shut the vacuum off. And all day, every day, all day, every day.
And here you are with a beautiful smile on your face, talking to everybody. Like, that's fabulous, because that's what's, you know.
I'm gonna need a nap after. I'm gonna be tired. You know, Quirky.
My computer just started talking to the three of us. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, so
I think it's fun that I find life humorous. Because I think I'm going to do all of this. My husband, even like when we're trying to do things, he's like, I should just plan 4 times more than what I think it's going to be. Because it's going to be more than that. I think this project's going to take X and it takes, he thinks it's going to take 2 hours and it takes like 8 hours. You know what I mean? Like you should just, quadruple it, because I should always do that. So I'm like, again, he is proving to the point that I'm normal and everybody else are all normal, right? I just find life humorous of being able to, I try to take some breaths after my diagnosis of my cancer. I try to take breaths of go, oh, that's kind of funny. kind of laugh at it kind of a little bit. Because that story with the vacuum running is hilarious. That is so fabulous. And it's normal.
But I wish that was a one-off. But that is just, I'm like that all day. I wander. I waste time looking for, I can't find why is my screwdriver on the kitchen counter? I have a screwdriver over there. Why is it on the counter? There's nothing over there that has a screw in it. I don't need the screwdriver to be on the counter. It's supposed to be in a toolbox. Guess where my toolbox is? In the back of the truck.
Oh. Was I home?
My work machine toolbox is in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it gets, some days I can laugh and other days I just get so frustrated with myself because it's just getting worse the older I get.
And that's a valid point too.
Just scattered all the time. Yeah.
Do you think it has something to do with our creative kind of minds a little bit, like quilters are?
I think so. I think I've created a career, I guess, that allows me to be. I actually didn't get diagnosed with ADD until I opened my shop in 2015.
Oh, wow.
Because I found when I opened the shop, I mean, I was a hairstylist, I was a makeup artist, I was an esthetician. Then I got into quilting and I was a teacher at the shop that I worked at, teaching and piecing and things. I painted, I drew, I've done all these things. And I was quilting for people at home in my basement, which is relaxed, right? And looking after 3 kids. And I managed it all. But when I opened the shop in 2015 and I had to keep track of customers and books and product and inventory. And then I built my website by myself, and then it's loading all these things and just keeping track. Then I realized just how scattered and how unfocused I can be. I never really realized it because, you know, when you're at home with 3 little kids, let's go to the park. Okay, let's go for a walk. Oh, let's go in the backyard. Let's go tobogganing. Like it's everything spur of the moment, just like pivot, off we go. Right. So that's when I tried to find like help to figure out if I could get any help. And I did go on medication for a little while.
I can't do it.
Oh, that stuff is brutal. The last dose I took of that's because they kept increasing it. Like I'd be on it for 2 weeks and then they'd increase it a little bit. And in the beginning, it was great. I said to the doctor, I felt like it was a really weird feeling. And I felt like somebody had taken the frosting off my eyes. I wasn't wearing glasses at the time, but it felt like everything just seemed real crystal clear. Do you know what I mean? But they kept increasing the dose. And the last dose I took, I did not sleep for 3 full days.
Oh, well, and
I was awake for 3 days. I couldn't eat. I was nauseous all the time. And I thought, I just have to find other ways to live with my brain.
Yeah. Right. They tried to medicate me when I was in high school. And then gave up on that idea. Because it didn't work real well for me, but lots of coping skills. I mean, the kind of the good thing with what my dad did is that, you know, I was able to get coping skills for it, right? But yeah, I can't handle the medication, and I can't. My nephew has. I mean, we all have it, right? So we're a family that has it. So, I kind of joke around going, yeah, we're just there's 5 of us. So, we all have it to some extent. I think mine's probably worse than my sister's is. Right. But, yeah.
Well, and I think quilters, how many memes are out there? I need to use my stash. Oh, look at the new fabric. You know what I mean? How many memes are out there? You know, my 57 projects that I have going. I haven't been,
And that's just part of being creative too, because you're working on something, but you get all those, it's like a portal opens up and all the ideas just flood, and they flood so fast. You know what I've started doing with my phone? Most of my ideas come to me in the truck when I'm driving. So I've now I can hit the button on my camera and I just video while I'm driving. I just push the button and I talk. And I can then I watch the video later, because as I get all they just come in like this weird.
When your mind is focused on something else.
Right.
Yeah. And I can't spit them out fast enough because my brain is always 10 minutes ahead of my physical body. You know what I mean? So I think that helps to at least get the ideas out where I'm not going to forget them.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I've tried that. But even when I was a kid, one of the things my mom did save from when I was a kid was all my report cards. And all the way up to high school, she's such a sweet girl. She's so smart, but she talks too much. She's such a lovely student. I love having her in my class. I can't keep her on track. She's very chatty. She's very pleasant. Can't stay focused all through public school. So I'm a lifer. This is not something that just started. They would have medicated me if that had been a thing back in the 70s. I'd have been on it. I agree. Because I was too chatty and I couldn't focus, but I was smart.
I had more than one person tell me to my face I was a motor mouth.
Chatty Cathy, right here. Yeah. Chatty Cathy.
So,
my dad used to call me, used to say my girl with the grasshopper mind. That's what he used to say to me.
Because your mind jumped all around. Yeah.
My girl with the grasshopper mind. That's what he called me.
I would tell you, the owner of APQS is freaked out by me sometimes, I think. So because I got an idea and I'm just going to move forward and heck be
Well,
darned,
and
I'm going to do it.
yeah. So one of the things that, yeah, you're kind of like the Energizer Bunny in some ways, Kathy, because you go with an idea, like you'll come up with 15 ideas, one right after another, but when you light onto one, you go with it, right? So it's kind of amazing just to sit back and watch you, because it's like, wow, right?
My poor husband deserves sainthood. That and my business partner, my son-in-law, another sainthood. I felt like
And she's off.
And sainthood, woohoo!
No, it's just yeah. So I think we're all the same, like on that, and I feel like a lot of our customers are the same way.
I would imagine to do what we do, that you would have to be that way to an extent. I mean, you have to be able to adapt and to turn on a dime and do things, right? So the good parts of that, I would think that you would have to develop if you didn't have. I mean, we get it naturally, I think all three of us, but
Right.
some of the being able to change what you're doing on a moment's notice and do something else, I think you have to be able to learn to do if you plan on opening a store, any type of store, not just a quilting store, right? I think I can see now, back from when I was doing like restaurant management and things like that, why I drove my staff nuts, right? Because I can change really, really fast, and they never knew what to expect out of me, right? So I see that side of it too. But yeah, I think you have to develop it, and then if you're already for those of us that are predisposed to this, right, we have to learn to manage it somehow, because if I actually let anyone's, if I unfiltered my thoughts and let you actually hear them, it would scare most people. Like I can be sitting here talking about you, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what meds my dogs are, what their dosage is, what, all this stuff that's not related. Right.
I think, yes. Right.
So, yeah.
Well, again, I think everybody, all of this creative world, this world that we are in, is a very joyful. I just try talking to myself, my pep talk to myself I always joke that on the inside of my eyelids, I need to have "Thy will be done" tattooed, so I remember, because every 3 seconds I forget. So that kind of thing of like, forgive yourself, give yourself grace, let it be okay. Even say you're sorry to yourself is I think a very positive thing, but I need to be reminded every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I think we need to be nicer to ourselves.
Might be helpful.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing. I think it's a hard thing maybe for, I think, more women, for sure. Like, after having 6 girls and 2 boys, my 2 boys just amaze me at how they can be fighting with their friends, and 2 minutes later they're like best buds again. Whereas my girls and me, we were like never talking to that person ever again. I find this like, how did they do that? So I've really, since watching them grow up, it was just really amazing to me seeing these 2 boys amongst all these girls. And I feel and I see that when women are looking for a sewing machine and they come to buy one and their husband's with them, and the husband says, "No, let's get the more expensive one." And they're like, "Oh, no. I kind of stop them and say, "Listen to your beautiful man here. He loves you, and he's saying this is what your worth is." And not in those terms, but in a nicer way. I try to say it, because sometimes we devalue ourselves so much. And that's with making it, getting angry with ourselves and holding ourselves to the standard that is not even close to being achievable. The list that we make in our head at the beginning of the day is probably not even close to being achievable.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff I think I can get done in one day. And I'm going to do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do that, and then I'll go.
Have you ever done time blocking? You know what time blocking is?
No.
You set up a calendar that's like at 15-minute increments, and then you write down what you're going to do for the day. I tried that for one day. And I looked at it and went, I can't fit enough into my day. It is not going to work for me, obviously. I'm like,
Right.
not you're trying to do too much, right? But how do people get anything done with this?
Right.
Plus it's just something for me to go and focus on and then not get done, right? So I do my list, and like my real list is huge because it lists, every video I need to do,
Yes. everything
everything I need to get done, right? Every
Right.
every Facebook post, right? Every YouTube, everything, right? So it's scary, right? But the list I work off of every day is probably only about maybe 40 items. I don't get them all done.
That's still a
Right?
lot.
Yeah.
My friend told me to put 3 or 4 things down. So that's why I've gone from him telling me to put 3 or 4 things down. I've gone to, okay, when I'm walking home, when I'm driving home, I try to think what I did good for the day if I'm feeling pretty low, which is a lot of days I got to walk myself back. But I have to do that anyway in my whole little world. Because after, like I said, after my diagnosis of leukemia, I get something, I'm like, oh, I got a red spot. Oh, no, it has to be skin cell. It's got skin cancer. I know it. Wait. Walk back. I feel like I'm doing the Michael Jackson walking backwards because I have to always walk this brain backwards to stop doing that.
The thoughts spiraling.
Yes. And being on that wheel, that hamster wheel. Did we solve all the world's problems of managing our time?
No, hopefully we made people realize that they're normal.
Yes.
Like this is completely normal, guys. There is nothing abnormal with us. Nothing abnormal with you.
It's not much fun, but it is what it is.
Right. It's not much. Right.
It is what it is.
So everybody's normal. Is that what we should be saying? Everybody's normal.
Everyone's normal.
Keep doing you. Don't worry about others. Right?
Don't worry if you leave your vacuum running for half an hour all by itself. It's all good.
Yep. As long as it doesn't suck up something you don't want it to suck up, it's great.
If she doesn't know, she doesn't know. She doesn't know what she doesn't know.
Yeah. I have no idea what it sucked up while it laid back there behind the Lucy. Because I was at the other end of the shop. Fiddle farting around doing other stuff.
Obviously needed. It's all good.
I didn't even hear it. It's loud. I didn't even hear it. Sally heard it over the machine. But
well,
she
was there to help you today.
She saw somebody like behind the
curtain.
Got the big dry erase board thing, like partitioning from my desk. And she kind of heard rustling. And she thought somebody had come in and was behind my desk. She thought I was back there vacuuming.
Oh my word.
I'm up here doing nothing. Just
oh my word.
Sorting papers and doing my stuff. She scared me. Come around the corner.
Do you have the vacuum on back there? I mean,
what?
Do you mean to have the vacuum on back there, Tracy?
I thought you were back there vacuuming. I said, oh, I was. Oh, right. It's still running. Oh, I'll go turn that off.
All of our people who are listening are our people and are very normal.
Very normal.
Forgive yourself, love yourself, and enjoy your day, right?
Absolutely. Just get
for
through.
Sure.
Yep.
Right. All right, ladies. It was awesome talking to you.
You too.
You as well.
Should we say, everybody, please give a thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
We have our stores right here. So this is Fabric Bash and Whirls and Swirls Quilting and Thread Waggle Quilting. Go to those channels and subscribe because all of us have some fabulous fun things to have for everybody. Plus you'll get notifications of our new podcast, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.